And welcome back to the Daily Wrap. Guess what? Newsmax wants to send you, or a couple, bring anybody you like, 2 people, let's put it that way, on a 7-day Silver Sea cruise to the Caribbean this winter. You go on a luxury cruise, that's a trip of a lifetime. It's better than going to Disney. I mean, this is good stuff. I've been on cruises before. Everything's taken care of for you. You don't have to worry about how am I going to get to the restaurant? Do I have to call a cab? Do I have to worry about driving home? Everything is on these things. It's amazing. They're the size of like 7 football fields. You can play bingo. Bingo, Rick. It's good stuff. Anyway.
Dude, you just doubled the budget, so, you know, I'm feeling good about this.
Did you really?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I did, yeah. That's true.
2. Send 4. How about 6?
6? Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay, but we just want to send 1 lucky couple on this. To enter our sweepstakes, that's how you win, and here's how you do it. Newsmax.com/sweepstakes to enter. That's Newsmax.com/sweepstakes. They have bingo on there. All right, it's potluck time. It's a part of the show, Rick, where we go around the table and share our favorite stories of the day. You didn't have any today. We do on the E-Block is what we're called. We're in. And Travis Brown, your first ever potluck, what are you serving up tonight?
We're talking about the ability to tax. You're talking about giveaways, you know, to move, you know, everybody's taxing anything that moves. It's found that the city of Chicago this week announced a Netflix tax, a 9% charge on electronic amusement. Where does this stop? You know, I thought we settled the internet debate a couple of years ago that we weren't going to tax those kind of online services. It seems like cities like Chicago, perhaps LA, maybe here in New York, never rest. They're trying to raise $12 million from going after new programs and services. Now, the problem I have with this is that it's singling out certain kinds of businesses, picking winners and losers as to what a 9% tax might apply to. So, and where does that stop? So, of course, if we know that Netflix and other internet services are taxed in a place like Chicago, then, and they fall short on revenue because behavior changes, the price is more expensive outside Chicago or inside Chicago than outside Chicago, what happens after that? Well, when revenue falls short, again and again and again, more and more taxes come up, to apply. And I have a problem with this being preemptive, from what we already settled in Congress, that we weren't going to tax online services there. So companies beyond Netflix should be very concerned, even if you think this doesn't apply to you. The moral of tax policy is don't tax me, don't tax you, tax the man behind the tree. And we got to be very concerned for Netflix here if cities begin what they started here in New York.
You could be setting a precedent here, but you're about to be cross-examined. I'm about to.
I got a question. You correctly used the word electronic entertainment. So if I go into Walmart and I buy electronic entertainment in the guise of a video game.
That's right.
Right? I have to pay a tax. So why is it fair to those retailers, brick and mortar retailers, that I have to pay a tax to buy that electronic, but you think it's unfair that I should have to pay a tax when I buy it online?
There are 2 standards here, but these are the rules that brick and mortar retailers have. And prior to any online competition, they've adhered to.
You think that's fair?
I don't think it's fair, but it's equally unfair to go out and single people out and to begin new forms of taxation without the people's vote.
Do you think it's fair for states to impose the tax on internet sales?
Not in this environment. I think that's why you have compacts and federal preemption.
Okay. We'll have to end it there because we have our second course coming up. Mr. Higbee, what do you got?
So, Nancy Pelosi, after the shooting in San Francisco with the illegal alien shooting the young woman, she wants to use this as a battle cry to ban guns again. But the issue was the guy was a federal agent, and it was a federal gun. He was issued a gun. So no gun law would have stopped this at all unless you took all guns away from even federal agents. So we have to examine what's going on here with people like Nancy Pelosi, the Feinsteins that want to ban guns. Looking back to 1865, Lincoln was killed by a Democrat. You had Kennedy killed by a Democrat. Ford and Reagan were both shot at by Democrats. You had Jared Lochner, who shot up Gabrielle Giffords, Democrat. James Holmes, Adam Lanza. All these big major shootings recently are all registered Democrats. So the problem is Democrats have problems with guns. Not one Tea Party guy has ever walked in anywhere and shot up any places.
The media coverage, if a Tea Party guy did that, would be just off the charts.
Oh, it would be off the charts. But it's
it would be
never
representative of
happened.
the entire party.
What
and-
NRA member has ever walked in and shot up a place?
Right. John Wilkes Booth was a Democrat. Rick, I had no
Yeah,
idea.
but wait,
you knew him. You were in the same
I
homeroom.
actually I warned my buddy here. I said, don't go there because the Democrats of that era are very different than the Democrats of this era, just as the Republicans of that era are very this. The other ones are fair because they are in the modern era. So those are fair points.
Just
Frankly,
statistically, it goes
and,
back.
and you know,
Democrats are the ones with the gun problems.
listen. I mean, nobody, to my way of thinking, nobody gets to argue do away with guns because I've read the Second Amendment, and there it is, like it or not.
Yep.
But you know what?
culture, too.
I have a funny feeling that these guys probably didn't have strong ideological democratic beliefs,
but-
nor Republican
Yeah.
beliefs.
The issue
you
is
know.
the idiots like Pelosi, and they all need to just go away, accept our gun culture, and take them away from Democrats if they want to.
It's just a ridiculous argument because there's so many on the streets. Rick's pointed this out before. There's like
Well,
300 million
actually,
out there.
I'll go
Not
with
gonna be able to
that.
pull
Take
them
them
back.
away from Democrats. We'll take
We
away
gotta
half
go.
the guns.
We got to go. Yay or nay is next. This is the Daily Wrap.